Ladies and gentlemen, officially welcome you all to the post session of NASTech. And now we will be taking it forward to the next session that will be discussing on how academia and industry can work together to build next-gen workforce. India is the future of talent factory of the world. India, in next couple of decades, would have 20% of world's working population. Our target to be world's digital hub requires intense skilling efforts. Our next panel discussion would focus on how academia and industry can build this next-gen workforce together. Delegates, please put your hands together to welcome the moderator of this session, Smitha Kumaran, Learner Success Lead, NASSCOM, Futureskills, Prime. And for the panelists, we'll be having Mr. Kumar Rajagopalan, the Vice President, Country Head, DISYS and NASSCOM SME Council Member. Next, we'll be having Mr. Sujith Kumar, the Assistant Vice President and HR Business Leader of Infosys. And Dr. A. Vincent Anthony Kumar, the PSNA College of Engineering and Technology. Over to the panelist and the moderator for the discussion.
Okay, hi. Thank you. We hope to keep you awake for the next half an hour. So if in case somebody is sleeping, the next person next to that, please raise your hand so that we know that somebody is sleeping. Okay. So the topic, I hope you all heard the topic. I don't think any of you disagree that that's kind of the most important thing that we all are facing today, whether you're part of industry, whether you're part of academia, or you are one of those people who need to get reskilled, right? So I'm part of Ministry of Electronics and IT and NASSCOM joint initiative called Futureskill Prime, which is aimed at creating India as the digital talent hub of the future. So for last 20-25 years, we've been hearing about India being the talent hub, but then as things change, are we in the right place or are we complacent? Can we still retain that same benchmarks position? So that's what we are, the program is leading to. And with me, I have 4 eminent panelists. Okay, 4 eminent panelists. I hope you all are listening to me. So if there is any confusions, please raise your hand. This has to be an interactive session. Otherwise, whether you sleep or not, I might end up sleeping. So I have Kumar, who's the India head of DISYS and the board member. He's also part of the SME Council of NASSCOM. Okay. Yeah, we have Mr. Vincent, who's the HOD of IT in PSNA College of Engineering. We have Sujith, who's the AVP of AVP HR in Infosys. That's one Sujith. Now we have Sujith too, who is the co-founder of Matram Foundation. So he is, as we know, so he is going to play 2 roles here as a representative of the industry, as well as somebody who's in the thick and thin of things in getting students ready for placement, right? Ready for working in the digital skilling area. So to start with, let me start asking. So this is one question which I joined this program almost a year back. Yeah. Okay, so Kumar wants to take a break of 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Yes, Kumar,
thank you, Smitha. Good. So, a quick this thing. So, fantastic arrangement here. NASSCOM has done it, and all the team members are great. Thanks for everybody. And Senthil, small this thing here. You can see that.
Senthil, there's an issue here. We want you here.
Yeah, thank you. So, give a big applause for Senthil. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Senthil.
Happy birthday, Senthil.
And on his birthday, he's here. So, thank you, Senthil.
So please wish him, if you haven't already, please wish him before you leave this place.
Thank you, Smitha.
Yeah. So what we're planning to cover is, there's a lot of work which is already happening. So one question which I always hear from academia is, what exactly does the industry want? You keep giving us different inputs all the time, every year, every 6 months things change. We can't run as fast. So what exactly are you looking at? So that's something which, Kumar, I'll start, if you can throw some light into it.
Yeah, thank you, Smitha. It's been the upskilling and skilling, working with the academia. It's always been a passion and always been an interesting field to kind of look at it. Though I come from the industry, but takes a lot of interest in taking part in skilling the next generation. Of course, a lot of mindset which has been put into here, especially in terms of the skilling side. Most of the students, they get into the large enterprises. Most of the students would like to get into the product side of the companies, and most of the students would like to get into the generic skills, and then beyond that they don't grow, basically because the mentors are not available. There are sources of problems which are out there into the skilling. So upskilling is one of the major subject, and it's not going to just end with a corporate or with academia. It's a probably one of the subjects which both need to work together to ensure that we said, like, there's a huge population. 20% of the population in India is somewhat like kind of given a statistics that they are in this age group, and it's very important that like everybody has to address this one as a collective forum.
Yeah. Okay. So anything specific? If you need academia to focus on one thing, what is
so
it that?
So the breadth of the there are two aspects. Again, I come into this one. One is definitely, instead of making a broad-based knowledge, I would probably give or kindle the light in the minds of the individuals that like they need to do more on the research side of it. Getting into the at least the search is required. So the problem here is like we have everybody get into the herd mentality of going into one way or other. Rather, looking at very straight, people have to realize the fact that they have to start making inroads. So today there is one technology, tomorrow it may change into another technology. The adaptation is very important. That can come only when somebody has the ability to search. And academia has to play a greater role in terms of the 4 years they have. Make sure that like they put steps into students' mindset to make them more research oriented or make them more search oriented to go into the next level.
Okay. So, sir, if you can, talk about what is it that is happening today, right? So we can.
Good afternoon. Our college is associated with NASSCOM the last 10 years, and we are.
Yeah.
College is associated with the NASSCOM last 10 years, and we are the membership, old membership, and also our students are doing the Futureskills program regularly. All the third years and all the second year students start doing Futureskills program. And apart from this, if you go through the curriculum, the Technical University, Anna University curriculum, and as well as the autonomous colleges, I think the basic foundation course, they are doing the first year, and second year they are doing the foundation about the particular domain. And the third year, now I think the entire curriculum has been divided into the verticals. So there are 6 or 7 verticals as given. The first vertical may be the big data analytics and the cloud computing and web development, and as well as the cyber security and other verticals are they fixed it. The students, particularly a student wish to go for a data science program, they can study basically the statistics. From the third semester, they can study the statistics, and they can do the fourth semester and fifth semester, they can do the machine learning, artificial intelligence, and other thing. And they can do the project with the industry, they can complete the project in the third year. So that's what now the 2000 regulation, 21 regulation is, they are doing out. And the academic institution now, they are working with conducting the hackathons. With the support of the AICT, Smart India Hackathons conducted all over India, and our students are eagerly waiting for applying the program, applying the hackathon, and they participated well, and they got some laurels. So what the academic the institution require, we need some industrial mentor So previously we used to conduct only the My Idea program or something else. But now the students are start doing the project in the third year. So the real-time problem, if they identify the real-time problem in the third year, and if these students who could complete as a, not a prototype, complete as a product. So if the industry, the mentor is available, then it will be good for the academic they can start with the startup and other things that is happening. The Ministry of India, Government of India, also they are having the Institution Innovation Council. All over the, all academic institution is having the Institution Innovation Council. They are having the entrepreneurship cell and as well as IPR cell and as well as the innovation cell is available now. So we are focusing on the innovations towards the project can be converted to the prototype and that could be converted to the product. This scenario is happening now.
Okay, sure, thanks. So Sujith, so we hear about the industry saying get a research mindset, teach them how to learn rather than teaching them things. So right now if you see, Anna University has revamped their entire curriculum and I think it is more like IT, they are considering it as a horizontal. And even somebody who's pursuing mechanical can actually pick up one IT topic along with that and then create a project. So that's the idea. So there is some movement happening in the academia. There are already existing connects between academia and industry that are there. How do we make them better? How do we make them efficient?
Okay, first thing first, how many of you are from academia in this room? Okay, brilliant. Just to understand the audience. Because Smitha, I think this is probably panel discussion number 117 or something like this on this topic, right? I'm sure none of you are hearing this statement, bridging the gap for the first time. We've been beating this snake to death for almost for a decade now. But there are few institutions who have made this difference and few few industry who have also come forward. I think the gap still is there. I think let's acknowledge that. There is a huge gap, number one. Now, the mindset is very different. Academia wants to focus on theory, curriculum, what Anna University says and all this stuff. If you go and ask a professor, they'll talk about NBA, so much of additional load coming their way. And when we come from industry, we say we just need plug and play. I just need to take you, put them in my project and revenue should start flowing. And none of this is going to work unless until these two parties integrate and work together, right? So you look at what academia wants today. My only concern is how much are we leveraging the industry segments to come and support you. Like for example, sir mentioned that you want to have an industry mentor, right? I go back to this, go back to any college, there is something called as a governing council. There is something called academic councils. Each department has that and they'll have the who's who of the corporate. Okay? The unfortunate thing that who's who cannot spend time in that college. He can come and represent your one governing council meeting, have those nice cashew nut pakoda, tea, coffee, give insights on that particular day and move on. But I think it's high time if you want to bridge the gap, start with your alumni. Okay? These are young professionals sitting in various corporates. You don't need to go after the HR head or the technical head, the cyber security head. Go after the project manager who can come to your institution at the drop of the hat. For example, I studied in Loyola and for the last 24 years, there's not been a single year where I've not gone back to my college. Irrespective of who the principal is, they'll call and say, Sujith, I need you to do this, come over. Right? And I can never say no to my alma mater. So how can we leverage our alumni network? How can we build this industry connect better? I think gone are the days when we believe that the building relationship is a placement director's job. Only the placement director will know who's who. But I think it's today the job of the HOD. It's a job of the faculty in every single department to build that relationship, use these forums, get this industry connect, get more and more people come and talk to your students, number two. Second, I think center of excellence is the way forward. There are many, many institutions which I know sitting in this particular hall who have done that exceedingly well. They have gone after industries, asked them to come and set up the center of excellence, giving them hands-on experience to their own students. And those are students who get this higher order placements at the end of the day. So I think more than bridging the gap for the students, if I may humbly submit, how do you bridge the gap of the faculty members first? Syllabus is great. You can bring in artificial intelligence and data science, machine learning and all these IT courses. Today engineering is directly called IT courses. Civil engineering and mechanical engineering are seen like, oh, do this, even departments exist for that matter. Irony is we celebrate Engineers Day after Vishweswaraya, a legendary civil engineer. But today there is courses like computer science and communication engineering and whatever. But my single largest question is who's going to teach? How much have you sharpened the axe of our faculty members, bridging the gap? So I think in my humble submission, if industry starts focusing more on faculty, and because it is through faculty that you're going to impart knowledge to the students. So to summarize, Smitha, I think those pockets of excellence exist within this hall, might exist outside. It's very important how you can learn from each other. In corporate terminology, we call this best practice sharing. How much can this best practice sharing happen within academia lies a secret sauce, in my view.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. And just to add to what Sujith was saying about having industry, having more skin in the game, right? So what NASSCOM is trying to do, and Tamil Nadu is one of the states where we are piloting it, an initiative called Campus to Corporate Connect. And we ask the industry to tell what exactly do you need, let's say for the next 1 year, what are the skills that you are looking at from student. We pick a college which is willing to train its students in that particular technology. We ask the industry to mentor them on a constant basis for the next 6 months. Right? So the industry, that firm gets the first right of refusal of that set of students. So it's not just about you telling, oh, AI, I need AI, I need a research mindset, I need people to build curiosity, but it's about, okay, you're in this together, right? It's not, we are not alienating anybody, we are in it together, and we are trying to see that. So there are already, Kumar's DISYS is one of the partners who picked a college and mentoring them. So more of you are welcome. Please work with your membership connect team, and we will try and get this going. And like how Sujith was telling, it is about spending more time. It is about probably a weekly commitment of at least 2 hours of your technical lead, not the HR manager or not the recruitment head. It is about the technical lead spending that much of time with the students. So that's something which we are trying to do. But definitely there are challenges, and it's not going to finish in one, I mean, it's not a magic solution also, because best practices are best practices because they are far and few today. So the moment it becomes really widespread, I think the best practice, I mean, whoever is there on the top, they have to move one level up. So coming to that point, one thing which we always see is we are behind talent anyway, and we are behind the same set of colleges, because even today somebody came and asked me, I need to pick just 2 colleges, I need 2 premium colleges from where I want to hire. So what will happen to all those people who are not in the premium college, first of all? How will industry, why is industry again talking about, we are talking about going beyond degrees to skills, but why are we talking about, let's say, 60% marks, and then no areas, and this GPA, why? How do we get out of it?
So, 2 things, like it's typically what happens, this is one of the things which I always tell people. There are 2 skills which are very important. One is definitely the professional skills. The second is the life skills. People fail to learn the life skills portion of it. If somebody is in the first year and makes about like 60% marks or 40% marks, their initial mentality is like, I will continue to get only 40% marks. And they never come back from that one to move into the next level. So the life skills are very important to kind of say, you can turn around at any point of time in life. So that kind of a mentorship is required at the academia level. And this is where the C3 Connect, which we are talking about, college, campus, corporate connect. So the reason is, when a mentor from an industry goes, the academia should involve them, not just on the professional side of it, like, okay, teach the AML, teach the life skills also, because the problems which they forced or they've seen in their life, it becomes easier to kind of impart those knowledge to the students, and they can come up in life. So I've seen, just to kind of, we put it in a lighter vein, the best of students becomes the teacher, and probably the average students becomes the educationalist. So they build the institutions. But the thing is, if you really look at it, the entrepreneurs are the ones who get into that one because they have that risk-taking ability. But if you are putting them down, it becomes very difficult to come out to that, from that mindset to the next mindset. So when coming back to your 40%, 60% marks, and we cannot leave 15 or 60% of the population and say that like they will never come back, only I'm going to give the opportunity to the 40%. This is where the C3 Connect, which is a very, very major initiative from NASSCOM, even the Non-Modalwar scheme which has happened in Tamil Nadu. There are various forums which are available. The only thing is he puts it really well. The faculty has to be trained too. So they should be trained in such a way that like all these the platforms, open platforms which are available, various tools and facilities which are available, corporates which are willing to participate as part of the CSR programs, even the program managers, directors, they should take part, corporate should allow them give a 40 hours or 60 hours in a year to be part of the CSR program. So his smart term is, I was talking to him and it was a fantastic thing. So if the corporate allow them to participate in the CSR program, the C3 Connect will blossom and can make the remaining 65% of the population also to come up to that stage.
Thank you, thank you. So, sir, I mean, yeah, we put you on a spot by saying faculty has to be reskilled, but don't worry, you're not in this alone, okay? Even, I'm sure the industry leaders who are sitting here, how difficult is it to train your own employees for something which is like, yeah, I also come from a company, I was working in Wipro for a long time before I joined NASSCOM. So compliance trainings, mandatory trainings, definitely yes. But beyond that, how much of self-initiated training happens within an industry? Never. You are already there. Most of us think that we are already there, we don't have to learn. It's all about the person on the next chair, right? Not about us. That's the same thing. It is there everywhere. Anybody who's working also is in the same thing. But how can we help? What can we do to get the faculty to the next level?
Yeah, the faculty members, they are attending the faculty development programs like the IIT Madras or some other industry, the IBM, they are conducting the FDP and other things. And as Sir pointed out, I think previously we used to conduct only the program. But what the faculty has go there to Wipro, I think previously we had a program like a Wipro faculty member and senior membership, they visit there and 1 week they stay there and it's called as a project learning methods. So that kind of program, I think with the faculty also they'll come join together and it's a learning process. Compulsory as a teacher should learn every day. Every day the industry should learn and the teachers also should learn. So I think this may be the good idea and faculty should attend the program at the industry with respect to the projects, but not learning, again should not learn and other things. And the TCS come forward when they are having the CSBS program we are having, computer systems, computer science and business system. It's a 4-year degree program. The entire curriculum is given by this TCS alone. And we are also including some of the courses like a quantum computing, the value-added courses we are conducting with IBM and other similar kind of the advanced level programming and it's there. I think the faculty should learn, therefore then only the student can. We can give some input to the student with the latest technology and Sir pointed out, it should be there. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
With respect to the research also. Yeah, faculty should do the good research with respect to the latest machine learning and as well as the artificial intelligence and other things. So definitely it will go to the process to the students. And, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So Sujith, like this is a problem, I'm sure. You're wearing both hats. You're two people here, don't forget. So within Infosys, let's say, how are you encouraging people to take up training? Do you think the same kind of things would help for a faculty to pick up something which is beyond? See, they already think they know how to teach, but then exactly, how do you make it better? Like I think from the previous session, Ashok was talking about ChatGPT. How is it becoming better by the collective intelligence of all of us? So how do we motivate them to take it up?
One, I think learning is a very personal virtue. I think it has to do a lot with self-discipline, right? Tell me, who has not learned something? The time might be different, right? Now, if I say that I'm an HR professional and I've not done a recent certification in the last 2 years, my company will throw me out. I ask this question, when was the last time you did something for the first time? Keep asking this question over and over again. And if you're in tech, learning does not stop till the day you retire and say, I'm not going to work anymore. The same holds good for a teacher, the same holds good for an IT professional, it holds good for an HR professional, for anybody for that matter. So I think building that culture of learning is the organization's job, number one. You cannot say, normally in training we always say this, right? Oh, it's not about the trainer, it's not about the course. Where is this training happening? Oh, it's in Weston, it's fine. Oh, it's in Kodaikanal, Ooty, superb. How was the training? No, I'm really not bothered about it. Gone are the days now. I think today we have to focus on the job training. There is multiple MOOC websites today. Pandemic gave you plenty of opportunities to certify and upskill yourself. And even in large tech organization, it is people who show this appetite for learning, gets higher billability. In turn, they get monetary benefits as well. So it is linked that way. So my simple submission is learning has to be an integral part of an org culture. Whether it's an IT or in a school or a college, it doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. If you are able to inculcate that, I think you can see credible results, Smitha, in my view.
Okay, thank you. So I think this was running even before we came in, I think, right? So Kritika, how many minutes do I have? It says 4 minutes. So any questions to this panel? Any questions? If you ask a question, you have to, yes, please. Oh, nice.
You have to give him the mic before this 4 minutes stops.
Good afternoon. This is Alex Raj again. From morning, I keep on asking questions to the forum here. So I'm part of NDS Zibia company here. So my question, since ma'am has asked that any support from the corporate to enhance the skill set of the students, right, before the placement for academia. You know, the resilience is coming up for the next year of 2023. Even the skill set of the persons who are in the IT industry are struggling, or, you know, their layoffs are going higher to do this year and the next year. So we are in the OutSystem low-code platform. This platform is in the syllabus. Are you included that? Whether students are aware of the low-code platform like OutSystems, Kony, and so on. Like academia is also there. So in case if they're like, how do we connect? Because we are going for placements also from outer. We just find people. So before, if they trained up in low code, they will be having a chance, no, attending the interviews and clearing the rounds and get a good jobs. Yeah, just to understand that syllabus, low code you have included or not. Yeah.
Okay, as far as I understand, it's not.
No, so this is typically the challenge, right? Every recruiter, assuming it's going to come with one platform, the student is going to go mad. Let's face it straight. I think what we need to focus on is to bring in a balance. And with all due respects, it is tough for a student at this given point in time. He or she has to get this CGPA and whatever Anna University prescribes. Plus, there is n number of programs. Imagine every single corporate which is doing campus hiring comes and says, this is my module, teach this to your students. I mean, that's only said hours, right? Rather, let's focus on few skills, basic skills, which will help them enhance employment. And suppose this gentleman who asked this question, if he is able to tie up with a particular organization where he wants to partner, and he is able to say, okay, this is the return of investment. You do this program, I'll be able to hire you, and students are willing to sign up, the college is willing to sign up, we can do that. But I think, in my view, this approach of each one of them coming with their own programs and saying, run this, it's going to be very difficult for academia, and that's where academia struggles as well, right? So look at some plain vanilla. These are some mandatory, NASSCOM lists those courses. Like today, if anything around cloud, cybersecurity, AI, data science is a master stroke. You will get your students placed on that particular area. If I may just add one point, not just to this question. This is the hat that I wear as an NGO, right, on the NGO hat. And I always look at myself as an academician on that side. I have never worried about recession, because ever since we started this NGO, we've been doing 100% placement. And the secret sauce is very, very simple. Let's say last year we had about 220 students passing out of our final year engineering. The average salary was 7.75 lakhs for Kumaran students, which means out of which 95% of them are first generation learners. About 80% come from Tamil medium schools, right? Now we run it like a professional college, and all I say is it is perfectly fine if you give a student 4 years with good mentor in the college, you can change lives. So what we do is very simple. We don't just say when a student comes in, I'm going to place you after 4 years. We track their aspiration every 6 months. Because many of them joined engineering college without knowing why they've joined engineering. Because their father wanted them to join engineering. So they've joined. And you can't just say, okay, you continue like that. We keep asking this question, what do you want to do? The first year they'll say, I want to become a civil service officer, right? For 6 months. After 6 months, that changes to something else. So you keep tracking. By the time the student is in second year, we fairly have an idea. And then we put them through this rigorous training programs. We said academics is one, but make sure that you at least have one certification of your choice. Trust me, Smitha, it gives you wonderful results. Whether they get campus placed or not, there are multiple other placements which is happening and students are able to get placed, right?
Sure. Any other question?
Yeah, thanks for all the insights, which was really helpful. But I think Smitha ma'am asked one query that we digress on that a little bit. I would like to come back to that. The question is 60% and without backlog. This is something more often I was able to note in many of the eligibility criteria, because we do know the marks are not deciding factors, because there are many things. I know a coder who has got 40% all through from his 10th standard, but he has stood out. I think we may need to relook at.
Yeah, that's true. Kumar, you want to comment?
Do you want me to take that part? Or Kumar, go on, because you recruit.
No. See, it's only when we kind of go through that one, we speak only about generally, right? Like we don't go into the specifics of any specific student or any specific institutions as a higher criteria, 50%, things like that. We generally say that, like, okay, now I want to take somebody into my organization, whether they have 60% or more. If it is less than 60%, generally we think that, like, the IQ is less. There will be exceptions of that one. So, but the thing is, the base thing is, if anybody is branded that way, in their life, they are going to go in that branded fashion. So which will put them down. It's basically to ensure that, lift them up so that, like, they are also part of the overall mainstream. So as he put it, like, one language can make a lot of difference in somebody's life. One success or one placement can also make a lot of success. So for that, like, there is a handholding which is required. That's where the 60% needs to come out from their existing level.
So just one point is, that's what we are trying to break. Either bring them up to 60, a lot of people who are not today there, or probably, I mean, I'm hoping this is again a wish list or a moonshot. There comes a day where we say that, okay, I give you a challenge, you're able to finish it, I'm good. I mean, whether you write it using ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot, it's okay. I mean, as long as you're able to provide an output.
Can I take a 30-second stab at it? Yeah. Can you get into IIT with 60% marks? You can't. NEET, I know he's a prospective good doctor, but has only 60% marks. Can you get in there? You can't. Can you get into a top engineering college with 60% marks? We can't. So unfortunately, we are living in a country where marks determine something, but I'm with you, sir, on that part. Let's look at, there are X number of companies which has marks as a criteria, and let's say we are not talking about 90%, we are talking about 60%. Okay. My worry is about students who scored 60% without even having enough teachers in school. That's my target segment. But what do you do about students who study in a good school or college which has all the infrastructure and has only 60% and still say I'm a great coder? So I think that's a very base criteria to have. All these corporates looking at 60% is to say, does this person have an academic inclination? Is he even consistent in performance, right? That's the first check that they're saying. Does not mean that the person is not a good coder or can be a good developer. We do have exceptions to that. Such students always figure out, and when I say X companies offer this, there are many, many companies who do not look at these marks. They just offer you a job based on a hackathon as a competition. In fact, there are companies which says drop out from your college and come and join us because you have an appetite to code. So we have to look at multiple streams, but I also look forward to a day where your grades do not define who you are. But in the current scenario, having a 60% basic with all infra in place is a bare minimal, is what I would think, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, can you make it quick? Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I'm sorry, delegates, like we would have to wind up the question and answer session, so we can have the discussions offline.
Can we do this offline? Okay, please.
I'll make it quick. We are from the colleges, and in the science and arts colleges, we have courses like BA Philosophy, BA Political Science, History, Literature, So we are talking a lot about upskilling our people and all that. I want the opinion of the panel on how we cater to the need of these diverse disciplines. Thank you.
Well, my favorite subject, because I'm an art student as well, please try what I told you about this aspiration tracker, madam. Okay, figure out why a student has chosen philosophy, why a student has chosen psychology, what is the interest that person particularly have. You will be very surprised somebody studying psychology wants to do coding, or somebody wants to get into a profession that I belong to in HR, wants to get into professional coaching and so on. So I think that way, my only input to faculty members, go beyond the subject, where you can be the career counselor for these students, for which you need to know what the different career options are. Keep asking this question, why did you choose this course? Why did you choose this course? What is that you want to do? And keep asking, challenging that question, open up the horizon for a student. You'll be very surprised that they will come with multi-dimensional approach. They will talk about many, many things. But asking the right questions, you will be able to guide the students better. Today, there is plethora of opportunities for art students, even in the tech stream for that matter, right? Very recently, you saw that a day before yesterday newspaper which talks about literature students getting offers at 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs in some of the top companies for copywriting and things like that. So that way, keep asking this question, you will find the right answers. But I want to sum it up by saying a good faculty is also a good career coach. Because many of these students don't have their parents who can guide them, but teachers can guide them in a very, very big way. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You've been an awesome. So I'd like to give Kumar the last 30 seconds for something which is useful for all of us also. And we can walk the talk when he says this.
Yeah, thank you, Smitha. So a couple of things which part of the SME Council, I don't want to miss this one. One is the upskilling is always there. The first one is the Disha mentorship program. Jagriti is there outside, like you can meet. So some of the SMEs can get benefited, especially the SME entrepreneurs. Definitely is like kind of, it's a mentoring from large enterprises, the promoters and rest of the folks. SME Council and the Disha program from NASSCOM is one of the major initiatives. So please speak to Jagriti. The second one called C3 Connect, definitely some of the institutions are here. With Senthil and Smitha, if you can connect, we can go through that one. And the last is the FSP, which we have been talking about, Futureskills Prime. It's a great initiative from NASSCOM with MITI, all the institutions, if they can get benefited. And we are also ready to support that one in terms of how students can upskill.